the insight research, very much what we were discussing earlier, is to uncover the current industry pain points that need to be solved. The brand essence is very much about your internal DNA and what do we stand for. What's the essence of the brand, but also what's the purpose of the brand, and that allows you to build mission statements and vision statements. But essentially what it asks is, what's the most important thing that you do? Put that into a sentence. Why should I believe you? Or your source of authority is the second part. So what's the most important thing that you do? What's your source of authority? Why should I believe you? What's the thing that makes you capable of doing that? And the third part is your personality and brand archetype. And then all of that, brand archetype being, what type of brand are you? What kind of approach? What's your tone, your manner, your sound, your voice, personality, your values are all mixed in there. And then what happens is it all comes into the middle of your brand essence, and ideally you can bring that to a sentence or a handful of words. Brand positioning, on the other hand, is where do I fit in the world? And this is where you do analyse your competitors, you look for opportunities, what are the parameters for success in your sphere, and how can you differentiate yourself from the competition? And so this is very much about writing a positioning statement, which is if you like, an elevator pitch. And what we try and do there is we write a short elevator pitch. So you're in the elevator with Darth Vader and you've got 30 seconds to tell him something. And you really have to dispense with the pleasantries. Or you've got a minute or three where you can actually start to explain a little bit about what you do. And again, it's about creating some sort of hook point or intrigue, but also something that makes you sound different. So, O'Brien Real Estate says, our people are the difference. And you kind of go, well, really? Yeah, it is. Okay. So if I've got a good real estate agent, and it's not an O'Brien real estate agent, but he's a good person, then how can it be your difference? So you need to find ways in which you can differentiate better, and that's what brand positioning is all about, is going through that exploration and taking a deep dive into competitors, understanding what are their strengths, their weaknesses, what are their similarities and differences, and what's their tone, and how can you find a better way to something that they're not saying. So it's very much, if brand essence is internal DNA, brand positioning is where do we fit in the world. And then brand value innovation is really about saying where's the blue ocean? Where can we swim into a blue ocean? And brand value innovation is very much about what can I bring to the marketplace that the market hasn't seen before, or hasn't, it hasn't been expressed this way, or it's a new something. It's a new way of making this industry more equitable, or a new way of doing something that people haven't seen before. And so this is a great exercise in terms of creating a strategy canvas and looking at where you differ from where the industry norm is.
Sure.
So if the industry is zigging, can you zag? Is there a way in which you can go into a different space which is away from what the industry expects? So whilst brand positioning is very much a deep dive into your competitors, brand value innovation says it doesn't matter what the competitors are doing. What can we do to change? What can we do to bring new value to the market that the market hasn't heard before? And what's that innovation? What's the value innovation that we bring? And I think that describes the third part. And it's a great exercise where you do a 4 questions framework in terms of what you eliminate, raise, create, etc. And then the last part, the ComStrat, is really all about what can we do to make the buying decision easier? How can we bring this message to market and communicate it in a believable way? And quite often, I said earlier that when we work with other agencies, quite often other agencies will write the comstrat, or other consultants will that bring us in to do the brand piece, the brand workshops. But the workshops are really about uncovering information gaps. And then the comstrat is really about creating the message that can be delivered at a time when the target audience is most receptive to hearing it. So that means they need it now. They might not know that they need it now, and we're delivering it in a timely fashion. So very much about what will make the buying decision easier.